does open up a geospatial market for the entire country, entire length and breadth of the countries. Earlier, it was limited only to the government and then allied customers, which are typically in the areas of smart cities, municipal corporation. But now the geospatial policy has a wide acceptance to lot many customers out there. Followed by this, we have recently seen that way back in 2022 itself, there was a complete revamp on the drone policy which has come up in India. And today, the topic which is we are going to talk to you about the side scan is very well converged with the drone policy. So if you look at that, the geospatial data liberalization policy, the drone policy, what basically they are converging towards and PM vision or the country's vision of a 5 trillion economy. And we have seen that, for the first time in the Indian independence history, the union budget also was talking about a geospatial data policy. So basically this whole, the spectrum of the engagement, if you'll see, that's opening up a plethora of engagement models for us. And we would like to take this opportunity to brief you that you as an esteemed partner, what's lying ahead of you. Samkit, could you please take us to the next slide? So, while I have spoken about in length about this, but just quickly recap the agenda here, we would be talking about an overview of industries, who all are the ideal customers once you get through the side scan policy, a side scan documentation and the product overview. Samkit and Anjan, my these two colleagues sitting next to me, would be more than happy to take you through the technical presentation and demonstration. We have an exciting, product demos lined up in front of you. Go-to-market strategy, that once you are well versed with the technology and the concept, how do we work together to, build a joint GTM around that? And we will also have an Q&A sessions and then closing remarks. So before we begin our, the session for the day, I would like to take you through the quick housekeeping rules. Be a nice audience. Please mute your audio during the presentation or during the webinar session so that it doesn't create any hindrance when then listening skills or the experience of other participants. And in case if you have any questions, keep this with you, but feel free to key into the chat box so that we would be able to pick up your questions, and we would try to answer them at the end of the the webinar. We would request you to be there with us till at least 4:15, 4:20 so that you will be able to well versed with an overall messaging. With this, I would like to hand over the stage to my colleague Samkit. Samkit, over to you.
Thank you, Anup, for setting the context and beginning this for us. Also, thank you for setting this up and introducing all your partners to us. So, good afternoon. First of all, I'm Samkit Bagmar. I look after drone solutions specifically here at Esri. I've been associated with Esri since past 2 years. I come from a geospatial technologies and civil engineering background from my education. And I have worked with several drone companies in the past for business development, sales, and field operations and GIS and that. So I hear, can someone please confirm if you hear me clearly? We have someone telling that they cannot hear us properly. You might just write it in the chat box if my speech is clear for you or not.
Padma, you are audible, however, your voice is wavering.
Not clear. Okay. Is this better now?
Much better now.
Okay. Thank you. Sorry. Yeah. So yes. So I was just mentioning how I started with this organization. I started with drone solutions here, right? So I have worked with multiple other organizations in the past for different drone related and GIS related projects on which I have certain hands-on experience on with field operations, data collection, data processing, mapping, business development, sales, and all of that. So this has come a long way. The technology has come a long way. I remember back when we started using drones, there was a lot of hindrance in the policies. There were no established policies back then. We didn't have established resources to guide industries to what it is, how it is helpful to them, and all of that. We had to start with educating those customers and then bringing them on board. But when we look at the landscape now, with this new geospatial policy in place, with the drone policy in place, it has become much easier, right? So any 12th pass graduate, 12th pass individual can take a drone license today in just a matter of 5 days. He can use these drones to fly. Almost all of the Indian airspace is open for drones, more than 95%. If we exclude certain restricted areas or restricted zones, it is open to fly with a legal drone today, right? So we have a lot of scope. We have a lot of industries that are opening up to the drone technology. We have a lot of use cases or requirements where drone is an established technology and is a proven technology, and the departments are taking it up. So we'll be getting into all these details. Let me talk about Esri India first. So we are one of the leading GIS software providers, manufacturers in the world. Most of you are aware, but I would still like to emphasize upon certain things that we have been in the industry since past 26 years now. We have our headquarters in Noida, Delhi, and we have our offices in more than 7 cities across the country, spread out across the country. We have been catering to GIS solutions and GIS customers in numbers over 6,000 today, all across the country here. And here in Esri India, we are about 500 plus people working on different technologies, different domains, and with different expertise and many other things. So this is about us. Now, when I talk about drone solutions as site scan specifically, so we would cater to multiple industries. So it could be forestry, agriculture, transportation, energy, mining, water related projects. And then there is urban. We hear a lot about digital twins and all of that. Then, of course, we have education or non-profit organizations or utility, telecom kind of customers that are also there along with these major industries, I would say. So let us try to dig in deeper into what kind of industries are our target markets and how do we reach out to them and what kind of problems are we solving for them. So I would like to start with utilities, since it is a very huge segment and there is a lot of potential in utilities when it comes to location technology itself, right? So they start with field surveys. They have their assets built. It could be pipelines. It could be power transmission lines. It could be solar, wind energy, all these installations, whatever they do, right? So the preliminary data, the base data that they have starts from satellite imageries, which is being replaced by drones today. So this is a very good segment to be in. We have, if we look at ideal customers, so it could be government and private oil and gas agencies. It could be power line companies that are there. It could be EPC contractors, or it could be greenfield surveys for them, right? And especially the ones who have drones in-house. So whoever has the in-house capability of drone flying and data capturing and all can utilize our platform in a very beautiful way, which would help them in an extensive manner. Coming to mining, mining is another important domain. We have certain rules established by the Indian Bureau of Mines, which translates to MBDA rules by Indian Bureau of Mines, where it is mandatory for mines to survey their areas, the release areas, on a quarterly, half-yearly, yearly basis based on the site. So drone survey has become an established technology where it is being used. So illegal mining, when we talk about mining, there are two categories of customers that we divide in. One private mines and one is government mining departments. Private mines, yeah, to manage their assets, to have a look and feel of their assets, we can deploy drones and site scan there. And then when we come to geology, mines and geology department is for their lease management, taxation, illegal mining activities, monitoring, and all of that. Talking about architecture, engineering, and construction, AEC. So there are many companies who have multiple construction sites functioning on a daily basis. It is hard to manage all those sites on a regular basis for a decision maker to keep a watch on. So our solution, which is integrated with Autodesk and several other construction-related technologies today, can serve in a great way for monitoring, site progress monitoring, greenfield surveys, construction monitoring, cut and fill analytics, volumetric analytics, and whatnot. So it could be ideally positioned to construction companies, may that be government or private companies. When we talk about transportation, we look at NHAI. If we look at Indian Railways, right, they have mandated drone surveys for their construction monitoring on a monthly basis. So if you just imagine the quantum of work, for example, National Highways, there is about 6,000 kilometers of that is being built, right? So all this construction activity is managed on a monthly basis using drones. And all of this is recorded so that serves as a basis to understand the progress at several levels of hierarchy in the departments. So it could be to understand the terrain, to understand the profile, to understand the easiest way to reach out to certain location, to inspect bridges, to inspect their tunnels. Drones are being used extensively. It has also been extended to metro corporations today. All city metros, construction activities, as well as the regular maintenance activities are being carried out with drones. Coming to forestry, this has become an interesting use case today, where forest department conventionally using high resolution satellite imageries, and now they have come down to drone imageries for higher resolution. So when we talk about high resolution imageries, such as drone imageries, we're talking of the order of 5 centimeters in resolution. So when I say 5 centimeters in resolution, if I compare it with the best of the best satellite imagery that is available today, which is about 30 centimeters in resolution. So this is the volume of data that we can bring in for the forestry as a segment. We have multiple different sensors that are supported. Those sensors to build solutions for forestry. Any government forest departments, it could be educational departments within the forest ecosystem, or it could be state forest government departments, could be our ideal customers for this. Land records. All of you must be aware of Swamitwa as a project here, right? Whoever is there in GIS industry is aware of Swamitwa today, where we are mapping over 6 lakh villages using drones to capture high resolution imageries, to prepare property cards and distribute it among the people. Apart from that, several municipalities all across the country are using or flying drones on a very high frequency to understand encroachments, illegal constructions, the rapid rate at which the construction is growing. It is very difficult to manage with any other technology, and drones have established their say in it. So it could be different state land record departments, space application centers. It could be GIS labs of their application centers, and municipalities of cities, which could be an ideal customers for us. So I'll hand it over to my colleague Ranjan. He will take through this technical session where you could see how the solution is, how it is deployed, what are its benefits, how it works, and it is falling into a part of an Indian GIS system. Over to you, Ranjan.
Thank you, Samkit. My name is Ranjan Kumar Singh. I have more than 20 years of experience in image processing and GIS domain. I have worked extensively in satellite data processing, aerial data processing, and drone data processing in the domain of photogrammetry and satellite imaging. So I'm sharing my screen. Let me know if it is visual. So the entire workflow depends on the plan and capture. So first step, we have to plan our flight plans. Which area we want to fly, what are the assets we need to capture. Based on that, we will plan accordingly which direction the drones has to fly, and we have to capture the images. We have a flight app which connects directly to the most of the commonly used drones, and send the flight plans to the pilot, drone pilot, for execution. After the flight completes, the images are transferred back to the device and can be uploaded to the cloud using a Wi-Fi systems. Then in the step 2, the images are processed in the cloud and the outputs are generated. When the processing is complete, the user will get an email notification that the process has been completed and the outputs have been generated. Then we can do some kind of analysis like volumetric analysis. What are the outputs? You can inspect what are the outputs has been generated. It could be a DSM, it could be DTM, it could be the orthomosaics has been generated. We can do the analysis. We can capture some of the things. You can measure our measure the assets or measure the objects, and we can create reports, send PDF outputs from the data. And we can take the next level. Once the data has been generated, what to do with the data, how to disseminate the data, what are the information to the other users across the organizations or sitting outside of the organizations, which is a stakeholders of this particular data or the area or the project I am working right now. So we can connect to the Esri ecosystems where I can disseminate the data. I can use the Esri ecosystems ArcGIS capability to analyze the data to create various outputs, to use my artificial intelligence or machine learning techniques to classify the information and create dashboards or analytics analysis on the web or a online, creating online application to use that. So these are the various outputs can be generated, which is very accurate, like 2D, 2.5D, 3D outputs, because we are different customers have different needs, and as per the needs, you can create orthomosaics, digital electron models, which will be DTM, DSM, 3D point clouds, meshes, oriented oblique imageries, as well as thermal orthomosaics, and we can also create 360-degree panoramic photos. So these are the outputs will help us in further doing further analysis, monitoring the assets, and analyzing the project improvements or project status. So one of the outputs I'm showing here is creating a true orthos. True orthos are nothing but the corrected images using a DSM, which removes the perspective distortions. So there is no displacement caused by the relief because of the tall features or tall buildings. Then I'm coming back to the first slide, plan and capture. So site scan, this is the flight app, which is used to create the flight plans. We can ingest the earlier created orthomosaics using a satellite data. If I have, I can create ingest the data as a backdrop. I can create a 2D, 3D data. If I am connected to my ArcGIS online, I can use the ArcGIS based maps, which actually help us in again giving a perspective of the area which I'm going to scan. We have a feature which is a terrain full capability, which actually enhances my image quality in terms of resolution, as well as in terms of the image overlapping, in maintaining the quality of the image overlap. And I can plan and execute the automated mapping and inspection of the flights. I can save all this information, share, and I can use it in the latter cases, which area I flew and what are the parameters I used. So I'll give you a small video of how it works. So first I have to delineate all these areas, the area of interest I'll be planning. It has options to various kinds of plans, like what kind of scan I'm doing, to the area scan, perimeter scan, inspections. I can create a hatch angle, gimbal angle based on the what kind of assets I'm going to capture, how it is going to be used. So this is what the terrain feature I'm talking about. It improves my enhance the resolution as well as the improve the quality. I can save my flight plan and can share to the pilot, which can use this flight plan for flying the drones. So once it is done, then the data can be captured by the drone. So you can see the starting point of the drone. It has all this checklist. What are the checklists I need to before I fly? What are the weather conditions? What are the battery checks? So all this information I can create a custom checks also. What kind of information I have to check the checklist. So once it is done, then it will give me the safety briefings. What are the things I should be taking care of before the flight? I should check all these parameters. Then I'm ready to go. So once I do the flying, I'll monitor my areas of interest, how it is flying, how the data has been captured, which are the areas have been captured. This animation shows one of the areas where the drones has been used to capture the area using a high resolution drone. So once it is captured, I can download the photographs and upload the photographs to my cloud processing system. Total time taken, what is the resolution I have captured, all this information it is available for the customer to view it. So the first thing is to site scan manager. It's a web intuitive application, simple web interface where user has to provide these inputs once the data has been captured, uploaded to the site scan system, the cloud-based system. So it has unlimited cloud processing and storage power. So it is easy to data sharing across multiple organizations. Once it is completed, the team will get an email notification and it has complete information about the fleet management, about the team, which are the members are working on it, how far it is working it, which members is seeing what kind of data. So if you are working with multiple projects, so you can track all individual projects and in a single place where you have the storage, processing capability, the project management, fleet management, everything can be done in a single place. And it is secure because it's an Indian cloud, securing the hosting in India. So I'll give you a small demo about the side scan. So once I log in the system, actually it will show you what are the projects I'm actually attached to work on these projects. So it shows some of the projects I'm attached here. Because I'm the admin of the system, I can see all other projects are available here. So these are the different projects I've been assigned or I've been being an administrator. I can look at all these projects which I'll be which has been uploaded in the system has been delivered using this side scan. So I can track all these projects. So this is the application where I can add any member, which will be the member, who, what kind of role it will have, and what kind of permission as a simple user or a fleet user, you can start using the data, start using the side scan, how it is going to be used. Then this is a dashboard which actually keep tracks of everything. The dashboard says that so what are the flight counts, what are the flight hours of the total I have been using this cloud, and what is the pilot profile for this, what the activities has taken place between the over the periods, what are the dates which the data has been captured, what kind of drones have been used, which is the who is the pilot for this particular project, what is the duration of the flight, which is the project area, all these things I can keep track. I can keep adding all this information. I can also create a pilot information, who is the pilot, what is the certification expired date, what kind of what is the flight time, total duration of his flight time, what the number of flights he has taken, and about the aircraft of the drones, which are the drones have been using it, or few for different projects. I can mark those inputs in the dashboards and it will visualize in a single platform. And also I can keep track of the batteries of my drones. Uh, this is the manager, actually the site scan manager will do for me. I'm coming back to the projects. So some of the projects, these are the projects I can go and search for a particular project like sample loads. We click the sample loads actually. So these are the sample loads project I'm trying to open it. So these are the photographs. You can see that these are the number of photographs. 1479 photographs has been captured for a road corridor in terms of a corridor, road corridor mapping projects. Or you can see of any utility corridor mapping projects, any kind of projects you can fit in to this kind of concepts. So I can go and see the photographs here. Individual photographs, you can see that. These are the individual photographs. So after processing, it creates this elevation data for me. So elevation model, I can DSM and DTM. I can create it has created the DSM and DTM, and it has created an orthomosaic for me. You can see that it has created an orthomosaic of this road corridor. And I can create a 3D mesh, which the side scan has been created. I'll show you the 3D mesh of the data. And I can create a point cloud of the data. The point cloud. Using the point cloud, I can do the line profiling of the data. You can see that line profiling of the data. It shows the height of the objects at different locations. So this kind of analysis I can do it in case of a corridor mapping. So moving forward, I need to do some kind of monitoring regularly. So I need to do a particular site survey repeatedly, and I can do a monitoring what the change has been occurred over a period of time. So here this survey has been done at two different dates. You can see that two different dates the survey has been conducted, and I have created the orthomosaic of this data. Then I can use this timeline tool. This is the one date, it's the second date. I can use this timeline tool to find out what the changes has happened over the period of 1 month. Actually, this October and September, November. These are two dates. So the 10th, 15th of October and 15th of November, the survey has been carried out. So I can create a change, visually change, analyze the change where the new construction has happened. Again, moving forward, in terms of the mining areas, actually, Samkit was mentioning about the policy has come up to monitor all these mines using drones. Repeated surveys has to be carried out using drones. So what are the changes that happened? So in terms of the mining, actually, there are 4 surveys, as you can see that different dates has been carried out. And you can see that this is at the different types of surveys actually carried out different dates. And similar, I can do a timeline. I can do a timeline analysis of this particular area. I can zoom in out what are the changes that happened. You can see that some of the materials are there, some of the are really there now, it is not there. But the main thing is how much material has been excavated in the mining. How do I monitor which are the areas that has to be mined, whether it is a different area has been mined, where the piles has been logged. So these are the things I can do. So what are the analytics I can do using this data? I'm going back to the this thing. So I can create a particular dump. These are the particular dump sites. You can see that you can do certain analysis for these dumps. So this is one of the analysis, cut and fill analysis, where you can see that in this dumping sites, what are the things has been cut, and what are the field in terms of square, sorry, in cubic meters. So net cut, what is the net cut to the 219 cubic meters. So another, I can create some kind of reports, analyze periodically what has been done. So this is a survey one. You can see the total cut in this areas, total fill in this areas, and net volume. What is the difference in this in between the 3 surveys? So I can go from survey 1 to survey 2. You can see that what are the in survey 2, what is the cut, what is the fill, what is the net change in the volume in terms of mining activities being carried out. Then I'll move forward for a inspection of the site in terms of utility. Something one mentioned, it has been drones has been used extensively for this thing because it is very easier to reach that place which the human beings cannot reach, and it will give us more accurate information where I can do some kind of inspections. So what is the status of the equipments? How I can use what is the duration I can change the equipments. I can do a repairing or replacement of the equipment. So one of the heights, so I can create a cloud mesh of the data. So once the data has been created, I can go for a uh, inspection. Like using the inspection tool, I can see what are the things I can inspect for a chimney or a boiler. I can do certain inspections where multiple photographs available for this chimney is available for me for inspection. I can go other photographs, how I can see that the particular asset from different angles. I can see that I can do this inspection. I can create these reports. So moving to another use cases where Samkit also mentioned, it has been extensively used by forest for afforestation as well as deforestation activities, which are the areas which I can plant my new trees, where I can the deforestation activities has been going on, or tracking the animal trails. So one of the example, we are taking out the Himachal forest area in the Himachal Pradesh. You can see that this is the drone that has been captured. You can remove the orthomosaic. You can see that this is the drone data of this particular area has been captured. I can create a contour of this area. You can see that I can create a minor interval and measure on interval of the contour. I can create a elevation model. It could be DATM or DSM. I can then as I have the data captured in a visible range of electromagnetic spectrum, I can create a vegetation index, which we can generate the vegetation index and see that which are the areas actually where the vegetation, and which are the areas which are devoid of vegetation. You can see that. So this kind of analysis I can certainly do using our site scan manager. So once I have created this data, now I have to go to the next level. For I have to disseminate the data. I have to carry some of the advanced analysis, like I can do a tree count of the area. I can identify the tree heights in this particular area. So I need to remain connected in the ArcGIS ecosystem, where it will help me out to use this ArcGIS advanced analysis capability and visualization capabilities. It could be ArcGIS online, or if I can, I have an enterprise customer, I have enterprise license, I can use that enterprise um, application, or I can use this desktop application of ArcGIS Pro to further analyze the data which has been captured by the drone. And this can be analyzed on the web using a ArcGIS web app builder, or could be using, I can display my analysis result of the analysis using a ArcGIS dashboard. I can display the image oriented image as a catalog services, and I can use field maps to disseminate all this information. And I can connect with the Autodesk or Microsoft to create a BIM model. So why it is required? To complete the entire workflow from the capturing the images, from planning and capturing the image to generate various outputs, which actually help me in decision making. So various products of ArcGIS fit into this into the entire workflow or the ecosystem. I can do this change detection, I can do image classification, I can do object detection, I can do object AI based image classification, I can do a point cloud classification. So these are the various products like ArcGIS Image Server, ArcGIS Excalibur, which takes care of image cataloging, and displaying the images at different times and doing the time series analysis of the images. I can do the map visualization. I can use it in ArcGIS Pro for further image analysis. So all these things in the entire ecosystem can help me out in managing all my information from the starting from survey, data capturing, and doing the decision making based on the data inputs available with me. So I'll show you a simple demo for that. So this is the point where I can export the data actually from side scan to other systems actually. You can export the data, what are the data I need to export, these are the size of the data, which format I need to export, I can do that. And I can share the data to ArcGIS online ecosystem, which I was talking about. So once I share the data, so it will take me to my ArcGIS online site. What are the inputs or the products I want to uh, export or ingest to the ArcGIS ecosystem? You can see that it has I can check it out. What are the things I can take it forward. So I can publish those data directly to my ArcGIS online or ArcGIS enterprise using my ArcGIS enterprise GI services. So we can create story maps. Story maps is one of the tools where or one of the application where we can entire project, how the project got conceptualized, how we can, what are the outputs we have generated, how the decision making process each step by step we can monitor and do that in using ArcGIS story maps. So one of the story maps here I was showing about the Himachal Pradesh forest data. So this is the location of the Himachal Pradesh forest data. This is the Kangra area. I had this ArcGIS base maps overlaid in the story map, which it talks about the area of where I did the survey. Then I have this privilege of the way back images. I can use that to identify and do this change, analyze the changes over the periods. I have the data from August 2023 from February 2014. So I can use that to do this kind of analysis before I fly, which area I need to fly, what kind of information I need to capture. So what kind of drone, based on I have multiple sensors available, drones available, I can select a particular drone, what kind of models I need to generate, outputs, and then generate. Once I generate all these outputs, then I can publish those outputs in my web application. In my story map, you can see that this is 3D mesh has been already created and which I published it of this particular area. Now I can do this object detection using this ArcGIS enterprise service or in ArcGIS Pro in a desktop environment. I can do this using orthogonal DSM. I can extract the numerous useful attributes about this region. For example, if you have to calculate the DSM, DTM, which give me the height of any feature of the trees I want to calculate. So using our deep uh, learning algorithms, I can object detect. I can do the object detection to extract the tree count in this particular area. And you can see that finally I have overlaid these heights detected of the detected trees, and you can see that these are the trees and its respective heights has been shown in the screen. So also I can identify using our deep learning or machine learning techniques what are the bonds or water harvesting structures present in the area. So I can correlate what are the areas I need to be afforested or planting of trees will actually before starting of the project, which are the identify the area. So we can create a decision making for decision makers. You can create a dashboard of this particular area actually where now it will show on a single screen all this relevant information. A number of trees which are having height more than 1 meter, average height of the trees, what the number of shrubs, height less than 1 meter, the number of bonds actually auto detected using my artificial intelligence technology. What are the stream I can extract? We have a sophisticated arc hydro tool which actually extract this drainage information using the DTM. I can use. We have used that to extract the drainage, a number of streams and the or the length of the streams in those areas. You can, as I zoom in for a particular area, you can see that the information gets changed as per the screen area visibility. So in this area, you can see that the trees are 52 trees which are more than 1 meter height, and its average height, and shrubs are 280 shrubs. So all this information can be available on a single dashboard, which can be used for decision making, and ultimately which provide guide us to our optimum goal. So thank you very much. I'll hand over to Samkit.
How this technology works, you saw a couple of use cases. You could understand how this solution could bring in and fit within the ArcGIS ecosystem, right? So when I say that, what I'm trying to say is, so you already had GIS, you already had a lot of industry related applications that you are working on, and you brought in GIS there, right? So similarly, we are bringing in drones as well, drone as a technology, drone surveying as a technology within this GIS space, within this single puzzle. So what this would do is, conventionally, when you see drone surveys, people generally talk about data capturing, data processing, 2D, 3D output, and then end of story. Here at Esri, we don't stop there, right? So that is kind of a starting point for us. We use that data to bring it on an enterprise system or a WebGIS system or a desktop system where we can use it for digitizing, deep learning modules. We can use it for dashboarding, web application, mobile apps, and all of that. So imagine having a high resolution drone imagery with everyone in your organization on their cell phones. They can use it as seamlessly as they are using Google Maps or anything, and any other devices that they're working. So this is the power of cloud, and this is the power of SiteScan. So I would just summarize this when we say SiteScan. So this is a cloud-based solution. So this is one of a kind cloud-based solution which is hosted on an India cloud, on a Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology approved cloud, which is okay with almost all of the government departments except a few defense departments, I would say. Everyone should be okay with this because this is approved by the ministry. This cloud solution is stretchable exhaustively. You can pull it to a very large extent. We have tested this where we have a customer who has more than 250 users logging in and out of the system on a daily basis, having a fleet of 100 plus drones, uploading the data, processing the data on a daily basis, where over 10,000 square kilometers of data is being processed seamlessly, right? So anybody can log in, anybody can upload, process it within the department. You could have a track, you could have an insights of what kind of processes are happening and what kind of data is being processed. This also supports parallel processing, right? So someone is uploading the data from Chennai, someone is uploading from Hyderabad, and few from Delhi and Nagpur and whatnot. So all these processes can happen on a single platform within the same time, as much as time it takes to process one data. So in short, I would say this is not exactly comparable with many other technologies that are available in the market. So the kind of applications that it delivers, the kind of data storage that it provides is unparalleled. So anyone can access this within the organization, whoever has access to it. You can access it on cell phones. You don't need high-end workstations, which generally drone data processing teams struggle with. They don't need all of that. Even a basic laptop is good enough. So you saw Ranjan talking about 10 to 15 projects using his basic laptop here, right? So you can see he's not using a high-end desktop where he has 15, 20 projects open simultaneously. So this is the power of cloud, and this is the power of SiteScan. So let me take you through how would you identify a customer, right? I'm sorry for the quality of the text here. It is very small, but I hope it is still readable. So how we reach out to a customer? So initially we identify if he's using GIS or not, right? And then we identify if he has drones in-house or not, right? So whoever has drones in-house is the ideal customer, I would say, or whoever is interested in procuring new drone, right? So this is where the solution would fit in. It doesn't really fit where a department is outsourcing drone surveys or an organization is outsourcing drone surveys extensively. Yes, it fits in such situations as well if they are already ArcGIS users. they would be happy to run on this because it gives certain extensive capabilities which other solutions don't. Right. So whoever is using drones to capture photographs for surveying is our primary prospect, right? So we can reach out to them, we can speak to them, we can bring them on a discussion table, and we can solve his problems to a very high extensive level and make a good sale out of it. Now, I'll just take you to brief of the licensing part here, right? So we have two kinds of licensing, I would say. One is based on number of users and one is based on number of images, right? So based on the usage, uh, we start our uh, licensing from about 5 lakhs per annum. Because it is a cloud-based offering, this would include all the necessary cloud space for data storage, data processing, and everything. You don't have to procure additional cloud or any other things. If they are already using ArcGIS Online or ArcGIS Enterprise, we provide free integration with that so that data can seamlessly move from here to there, right? We also have some special educational pricing as well. So we have seen a lot of traction from educational institutions as well, where uh, where they would like to encourage their students to learn about drone data processing. We provide unlimited operator access to that. So what this means is every student can have his own login and use this for learning purpose. So we face this critical objection several times that a certain educational institution doesn't have a drone, right? So this is not more a roadblock today. Even if educational institutions are not having drones, they are still using data processing solutions to process the data and extract information and teach students from the geoinformatics perspective how the data processing, drone data processing is done, just like they do it with satellite imageries. So this is how the product is licensed and it is used in here. I Before starting with FNQ questions, I would again like to remind you, if you have certain questions, please drop them in the chat box even now, and we'll walk through FAQs. Anup and I will walk through FAQs. So, Anup, I would like to start with the first question. I think I should be taking this up. Which sensors does SiteScan support? So we support RGB imageries, we support multispectral imageries, right? We support thermal imageries as well. We support most of the standard make sensors all across the globe. If it is of a standard and a recognized make or a manufacturer, we support all of them. But still, if there is some specific sensor that is different or that is new to the environment or the industry we are in, we are open to discussion. We can discuss about it and we can identify it. Can we have a perpetual type of offering for SiteScan? So this really does not work because this is a cloud-based solution, right? So when we say cloud-based solution, first of all, you don't need any infrastructure, hardware infrastructure to use it. And perpetual licensing doesn't make sense because there is a recurring expense of the cloud from our end, for our end, because we have to store the data, process that data, and the usage is something that is critical to make it as a perpetual type. So it is on an yearly subscription basis. Esri software to start using SiteScan. No, user doesn't really need any other software to start with SiteScan, but yes, it serves more to the people who already have GIS, established ArcGIS ecosystem there, so that this fits in perfectly within that ecosystem and it would serve them better. What all verticals or customers are relevant to SiteScan? So as I mentioned, we would like to identify at least customers who already are using drones in the system. That would be our ideal customer. Industries or verticals, we have discussed this extensively. It starts from mining, it starts from transportation, utility segment, forestry, land records, right? Education, renewable energy, right? So there are many verticals where drones are being used widely today and where it is being widely accepted, widely established as an accepted technology there. So I would ask Anup to join in again here for the next questions. what's in it for us as partners, as Esri India valued partners? What do they have?
And Ranjan, first of all, so guys, what we have done is that we have thought through few of the questions we have put in here, but feel free to key in your questions in the chat box if you have any another question from this. Now, so basically, what we would like to bring into the table here is that you are a valued partner with Esri India. There are a different set of partners. We do have some of the partners are pure play reselling partners. Some of you are neck deep into the survey industry. Some of you have huge services capabilities. What it says is that you could actually built in a lot of technology or a lot of different applications on top of the ArcGIS offering. So basically what it says is that for each and every kind of partner, the ecosystem what we have, you have the relevance to the business. Now, if you look at, so let's take some of the scenarios that if some of you are typically a reselling partner, what's in it for you? As Sankit has said that you could go and look out for your customers if they have an installation base on an ArcGIS, probably go and do a probing questions to them and try and understand that what are they doing actually in terms of drone surveys. Or if they are not doing anything at this point in time, do they have any plans in near future to get onto a drone survey? They might use the in-house drone survey capabilities. They will lend that services to someone else who are the drone services partners, and they can try to work with them. So what essentially says is that you'll have to look for scanning your customer base, and those who are already using an ArcGIS product suites would be a low-hanging fruit for you, subject to if they have then interest and appetite to get into a survey, whether it's a business requirement, compliance requirement, as Sankit was talking about on the mining side of it. Indian Bureau of Mines has made it a mandate to submit their compliance or the reports to the IBA every quarterly basis. The forestry has the similar kind of the requirement. The rangers in the forest departments, they have to do a real-time survey and put the information back to their respective decision centers. So as a reselling partner, you have that capability. You just spot in the customer and do engage with us. With a regular channel of engagement, you could talk to your respective account manager. You could fall back to respective channel managers. As you know that we are running a lead incentive program where all of our partners are entitled to have the lead incentive program. So once you spot in an opportunity, you could go through a lead incentive program, feeding the customer information. We'll talk to you and we will engage. So in a nutshell, for each kind of the partner, the persona what we have, there is an opportunity for each one of you, right? So I think while the questions are basically being captured into different segments, I just wanted to give you a perspective that for each and every partner, there are the opportunities which are lying ahead of you. I did talk about the reselling partners. I did talk about survey and services partners. Some of you are really neck deep into the survey and services capabilities, where you take a turnkey projects from customers on a land record side of it, forestry, decision support systems on the fire or emergency response services, where you might be working with the state police departments where you will be supporting them. So what it says is that if you as a survey and the services partner, if you have the companies who are working with you on the drone flying capabilities, you could basically work with them and see that how their capabilities on the drone flying can be leveraged together with an site stand. Because point to be reminded here is that if you're talking to a customer who has an ArcGIS base, it's a seamless integration. Right from a data capture to data dissemination and then the data processing side of it, right? Then I think we did talk about the reselling partners. We did talk about the services partners. I have a prospective customer. How do I engage with Esri India? I did cover that. Talk to the account managers once you spot in the customers. Talk to the channel manager in your territory. And then on top of that, you could feed in the customer information through the deal registration process, and we'll try and engage with you. Okay, I think the last question is a reselling partner with Esri India. What all the advantages do I have? I think I did talk about that. As an authorized partner, as a reseller, you will have an access to the account locking procedures. You'll have an access to Samkit and the Ranjan going forward. From a site scan product capability standpoint, because Samkit looks after the site scan sales for us on a pan India basis. Ranjan is basically a technology expert on the pre-sale side of it and in solution integration side of it. So you have an access to these two people. You will also have an access to the lead incentive program where you could simply register your opportunity and then we'll go back to you. So in a nutshell, it's a complete ecosystem. Right from a sales to product, the sales to the pre-sale solution architects team, we would try and support you. What is an expectation from you is going forward, you try to, get into a conversation with your customers, try to see their interest area on the site scan or equivalent technology. Just try to capture their interest on how they're leveraging drones in their day-to-day work. If yes, it's a low-hanging fruit. If not, then look at that. What is their plan for consuming and drone services? Because as we talked at the beginning of the conversation, the drone, the policy came into existence. Basically it was there, but it opened up for the wide spectrum of customers in India way back in 2022. The GIS data policy got changed in 2022. It's just a little over a year back. So basically, whether your customers are thinking through the consuming drones and taking a new initiatives on the on the GIS side of it. If they are not doing it today, they would be compelled and forced to do it tomorrow. So it's like, it's totally left on to us to start engaging with the customers today so that we see in the importance of ArcGIS technology, the site scan as a technology, interoperability with the site scan with the various drone providers out there in the market. These are the advantages. Probably I'm not too sure, but let me just repeat this. As you know that we have a very tight integration with a couple of drone providers in country as well. And Samkit has been working with a couple of drone operators in country. So basically what it says is that if you go and engage with your customers in these technologies and they would ask you for which drone provider I should look at, you could become a trusted advisor to your customer because you would be talking to them on an end-to-end solution, right? And we would be working along with you. So these are the few questions what we thought through, and we wanted to, bounce this idea that this is how you would be engaging with your customers and engaging with us. But feel free. I mean, we will open up this session for question and answers for next 5 minutes, and you would pick up the questions if we have not addressed so far. I could see Samkit has been replying real time on a couple of questions coming in. So that's in it from all of us. I would say as a follow-up to this activity, we will touch base with each one of you in terms of representing your organization. We will do a follow-up engagement, and if you see that there is an opportunity of possible engagement, do feel free to come back to us. We'll take a programmatic approach in terms of engaging with you. Thanks, Ankit. I think you could reach out to, apart from these, the account managers, channel managers, and then, lead incentive program, you could write into us with an info@esri.in so that we capture your interest area and we start talking to you. So now, as a follow-up, go back to your, respective customers, your own organization, do a brainstorming internally and let us know. We would be more than happy to engage with you, capture some customer interest and start working with you to ensure that we are bringing the customer delight. That's it for us. Look forward to wait for another 5-10 minutes to have the question answers. We will address them.
Yes. So I'll start with the answers that I have left that I couldn't respond to. So first of all, what is the workflow of this software for AEC customers? So I had asked the person to elaborate it for me. So they have mentioned that how will this work with architects and engineering? So when I talk about architecture and engineering, Autodesk forms a base software where most of them work. So it could be Autodesk Revit, it could be Autodesk BIM 360,
it could be Map 3D, right? So whichever Autodesk products are there are integrated with SiteScan. So what this means is whatever data you are capturing, you're processing on SiteScan can be brought in on Autodesk platforms, and the data from Autodesk platforms can be brought in here. So what this does, you can compare your Autodesk or what is planned to what is actually there on ground, right? So this is what it does. Can partner get trial or limited license, which will be helpful for the demos? I'm sorry, we do not have this kind of an arrangement specifically for SiteScan because of multiple, dependencies and challenges on this. But yeah, if you have certain customer that you think this solution could play a role with, you can get them on a table. We could discuss this with them on a call, and we can do the necessary demonstrations and POCs, and we can share it with you as well as the customer. Do you provide training session of this application with us? With you, I hope you are meaning the customer. The training sessions, relevant training sessions would be provided to the customer wherever requested.
Sanket, so just to add up to your question, when there was, sorry, your input when there was a question on a demo licenses. So, as Sanket has said that we currently, unfortunately, do not have that policy, so we could engage with the customer along with you. But then what we have done is that a lot of you are an EPN partner, which is an Esri Partner Network Program, which is a global initiative. And you are aware about that as an organization, you will have an access to bunch of Esri licenses, right from your desktop to pro to an enterprise to an AGOL and to extents and so on and so forth. What we have done is that since there are a lot of interest which is coming in to have the demo licenses, I think we have taken a one step at a time, and we started incorporating a drone to map technology as a license which are being given to the EPN partners now. So while we do not have a policy of giving you the site scan because there are the compliance requirements, there are the overheads in terms of having those cloud instances and all. We do have, as a partners, you do have an access to a drone to map technology. So, you could have a fair understanding of that, how this technology would be leveraged at your site now. It's just a matter of time. We think that, the global team is already thinking on having a site scan also being provisioned under a part and parcel of EPN framework. So once this is there, you will have then the site scan licenses also, but definitely in near future, right? And those who are not a part of the EPN network, you could basically come back to us and we will try and see how best possible way we would support on your requirement for demo licenses.
Thank you, Anup, for bringing this up. Yes, so as Anup mentioned, drone to map is a good tool. So for initial level discussions, you could probably install drone to map on your system if you are registered under EPN network, and you can engage with them. Yes, and we are here to support you with SiteScan. You can reach out to me directly. We have Ranjan, we have Anup as well. You can reach out to us. We'll be happy to support you. And we have supported many of other partners with such opportunities, and we'll be happy to help the customer with those demonstrations, POCs, and everything.
So I think let's try to address a few more questions that we have in next 3 minutes.
Yeah.
So that we know that we are mindful of the fact that we have overshooted the time which we have allocated. So next 2 minutes, let's take a question.
Yes. How to show a demo to a customer without drone? How to show them the workflow? Yes, this is a very fair question and a valid question. So initially, what we usually do at Esri India is we speak to the customer, we provide them the necessary basic information about it, a brochure or a web page and all of these details. Then we bring them to a proper 5-minute video that we have on YouTube, which we'll be sharing after this presentation. So you can share that YouTube video link so that they can see this, they can see what kind of the entire workflow, they can understand our workflow in a very brief time. And then if the customer is still interested, we bring them for a detailed discussion, demonstration, and POC and all of those. Any other questions? Let me just check. Can we get the PPT? Yes, we'll be sharing some resources with you, which you can use it further for your presentations as well as brochures for sharing as and all of that. We'll be doing that. Do you have an exclusive site for examples covering different applications? I'm so sorry, we do not have that yet in place. But as I mentioned, as of now, you can just search for the kind of application that you're looking at. You can use the keyword drone and Esri after that, right? So you get a lot of resources, Esri resources there, and I think that should help you. But yeah, this is a very good suggestion that we could have proper exclusive examples covering different applications on our sites or some other means.